I think at this point, tag team wrestling in WWE or WWF, which was the final WWF show, had peaked. Some people may agree with that, they may disagree with that, but I definitely think looking at this match, it almost came across as a little bit sad. You had the Hardys and the Dudleys in it, and it just felt that, especially after the last 2 years, the Triangle Ladder match, the TLC2, they obviously had the TLC at SummerSlam in between that. It felt that they were really desperately trying to cling on to the tag team glory that Hardys and Dudleys and the magic they had with Edge and Christian. It really felt quite sad because obviously they had APA in there, they had Billy and Chuck. Now, I'm not saying that tag team wrestling would never have good matches again, they would never feel important again, because on and off, they tried for years after, and there have been good tag team matches and everything ever since. But for me, it was never more evident than watching this Four Corners match that it just had peaked, and I don't think tag team wrestling has ever properly recovered ever since. And I found it really sad to watch.
What do you put that down to in the year that's just taken place between 17 and 18? Why has that happened?
The teams that they had they didn't really feel that important anymore. They didn't feel like they had many teams. God bless Billy and Chuck, no disrespect to them, but they're fine, perfectly okay tag team, but they don't feel like a big special attraction. The APA are definitely already had their heyday, and it just felt like they were trying to live off that TLC glory, and I just felt that it'd come and gone. They'd had those epic matches, and that was it. I didn't feel, it felt that the tag team division were out of steam, and there was nobody left, and the only people who were, like I said, guys like Billy and Chuck and whoever they'd throw together. It was just really sad.
I suppose you've got the kind of original golden era of sort of WWF tags in sort of the late 80s and I guess up to probably like 90, 91, kind of around that. I felt like around the time the Heart Foundation split up, and then you had a little bit of a run with Legion of Doom, but then after that I think it was downhill. There, natural disasters, all that sort of stuff. Money Inc. I wasn't particularly into, but yeah, then you had this other period with these, the Hardys, Dudleys, and Edge and Christian as well. But yeah, it certainly was on the downer by this point. Though there was loads going on in this match, though, I thought, which was somewhat interesting. Which dreadful band was this, Matt, that was singing out? That one of them, like Stacey Keeper's stage direction was Grind, the lead singer. It made me sick.
This was Saliva.
Playing
the Dudley Boyz remix theme tune from WWF Forcible Entry, the album, which was fantastic.
Hang on, wait a minute. Forcible Entry? I've never heard of this thing. I mean, what? I know, it's crazy, isn't it? It wasn't like it was plastered all over this show. It's 14 minutes long. It's an elimination 4-way tag team title match. The APA go first, I believe. I'm running through it really, really quickly. The Dudley Boyz go second, and then Billy and Chuck beat the Hardy Boys at the end somehow. Can't remember how, but that's how.
No, fine. Yeah, so we had this dire Saliva stuff, but then thankfully Billy and Chuck's music, which should have won some sort of award, incredible stuff. And Lawler talks about being in a boy band back in his heyday called the Backseat Boys, and I thought this was very, very boring, this match. So there we go.
I feel like Jeff Hardy would still be being beaten up today if somebody hadn't stopped it, because my God, it felt like he was selling for a lifetime. I was so grateful when he finally got the tag. I thought, hooray!
Yeah, I didn't have a lot to say about this match, to be honest. I understand exactly what you mean, Matt. It does feel sad. I think the inclusion of the Hardys and the Dudleys is the problem here. And I think this might have been better served by just having the Hardys against Billy and Chuck, for example. It would have just removed everybody's minds from TLC. The fact you've got the Hardys and the Dudleys makes it like, oh, we still got those two. They're still here. And we've got these other guys in the APA we only use for 5 minutes because I presume, I don't know, but I presume Farouk probably couldn't go for very long because Bradshaw obviously could because he carried on for some time after this. And in fairness, they had the draft not long after this, the first draft not long after this, and they split the APA and they split the Dudleys deliberately because they just needed to do something else with them or try something else because they were both really, really tired. I can't remember if they split the Hardys as well, possibly. And yeah, I felt the same. I felt this is quite sad, and I think you're right. They didn't have that same rotation of teams in the same way as you would at the top of the card. You need to keep bringing in new talent, fresh talent to sort of freshen the main event scene up, or on a regular basis. The same goes for the tag team division. You just need to be building tag teams that can replace ones that you're now willing to move into the singles ranks. They obviously have big plans for Edge, so that's why they've split up Edge and Christian. So you need to be facilitating the build of a new tag team that people are invested in during that period, and it never really came. It just didn't really happen. And the fact they were still relying on the APA, who 2 years before this was already kind of quite a tired tag team, it says it all really. The only other main notes I had about this was I absolutely agree with Stephen. Billy and Chuck's music, absolutely phenomenal. What an amazing theme tune for the gimmick, for the character. Just absolutely brilliant and actually quite fun.